Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Know Your Shit podcast, where our knowledge and pride in what we do drives us to be excellent. My name is Josh Cadillac, and once again, you're stuck with me in the driver's seat for today's show as we learn how to stop doing deals and learn how to start closing customers for life. And we do this by interviewing folks that have been successful in all sorts of different industries to find out how they've been successful at building a business rather than just doing transactions. And today we get a special benefit because we got a great guest for you who actually happens to be in real estate like me. So we can talk a little bit of shop. Stephen Tallon, thanks so much for being on it. How do you pronounce it, Stephen?
Tallon. Tallon, like the eagle claw. People are always like,
there we go.
Tallon's swooping in. So yeah.
The claw. I got you. It's the claw. Stephen, the claw. That's totally, you're from Philly. Getting a nickname is a thing, man. You got to be careful with that. So Stephen, right. I kind of let everybody know, what is it that you do, buddy?
Yeah, so I'm in the real estate game. I've been an agent for 10 years now. I've been buying and selling properties since 2007. So incredibly, that kind of dates me, which I still feel like I'm 18 years old running around, but we're not.
Yeah,
and the good part about that is that we have experience, and there's no way to get it without living it. So
absolutely.
Yeah, we sell a lot of houses. We invest in a lot of stuff. We're building out a boutique hotel brand. We can touch on that later if we want. But
nice.
Yeah, it's fun. We're having a good time up here in Philly.
What got you started doing that, man?
On the buying side, believe it or not, we started buying real estate as rental properties, but what got us into the boutique hotel brand was we were looking for deals. I mean, I think anybody that's involved in real estate or is reading the papers or knows anything is like, oh man, inventory's so tight, things are so tight. In our marketplace, especially since COVID, we've seen such an appreciation that why would somebody sell you a deal when they could just put a sign in the ground and get maximum dollars, right?
Absolutely.
They're out there where they want an easy transaction, but it got really hard to find deals. And the way we got into the hotel space was really, really scoping everything out. And we said, hey, let's look for businesses for sale.
Yeah.
And we have a cool little town called Kennett Square, about 40 miles from Center City, Philadelphia, out in the mushroom capital of the world, near
the mushroom capital of the world.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Who knew? Yeah, Kennett Square.
Who knew?
And Longwood Gardens is there, which is actually a worldwide phenomenon for the Christmas lights and stuff like that. And they do lights all year long. It's a huge botanical gardens. And we discovered a bookstore for sale. And my partner, Stephanie, and her husband, he's a general contractor. Steph calls us up and says, yo, come look at this bookstore. Matt and I get in the car. We're like, why the hell are we going
to a bookstore?
Like, I got enough trouble running my life and my businesses and this and that. We don't want a bookstore.
Yeah, well, who wants to be in retail books?
Right. Let's
compete with Amazon. That's the play.
Damn right. So, but what we didn't know was Steph took the next step and realized that this, what used to be twin homes combined into this bookstore, was already zoned hotel.
Okay.
So we said, all right, hold on a second. Let's kind of go look at this. So we looked at this. I felt bad for the people buying it. They bought it right before COVID. They were putting their spin on it. It was always been a bookstore, and they really just wanted out. They couldn't compete during COVID with the retail registry restrictions and all the stuff that goes along with it. So we made them an offer. We're like, we don't want the books. We want the building. And they said, it's all or nothing. I said, all right, well, then I guess we'll buy everything. When I say everything, Josh, dude, we walked in, there was still money in the register.
Oh, geez.
Right? Money in the register, their branded stuff. And we ended up buying it, and we converted it to a small 4-unit boutique hotel, visible service. The key was, and I didn't see it coming, Steph has some more vision than I do, was 7,000 books there. Well, what the hell are we going to do with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the Airbnb space, you know anything about it, a lot of theme things do really well. So we kept the theme of the books, and we became the Bookhouse Hotel of Kennett Square.
Nice.
Our lobby is filled with books. Every bedroom has a bookcase around the bed, and it's booked in. Where we got lucky, and I don't want to say it's lucky because it's not, because we had the balls to go make a decision and buy something and kind of get into something, that I didn't realize how big the reading and the book community is.
Absolutely.
So we took a chance, and what happened was all of a sudden Steph's interviewing a famous author in one of the beds at the bookhouse, right? They get in pajamas, they put the book up, they do a little talk, and all of a sudden they publish that, and the register starts ringing.
Yeah.
And we booked 71% of the nights of the month in a little town in Kennett Square. We've had visitors from England. We've had visitors from Germany. And it's absolutely been incredible that we kind of, I don't want to say viral, but borderline viral, and got really popular in this book world.
Yeah.
And have since expanded. We're doing another one in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is a little closer to Philly, and where I operate my real estate business from. And we bought a 7,000 square foot Victorian mansion, and we're converting that to the Bookhouse Hotel at Fawnbrook. Good thing
Nice.
about that one is we're going to be able to host weddings of up to 100 people for that intimate affair, other little events. But it's been really neat. I love selling real estate. I love working with buyers and sellers.
So what do you like best about it, Stephen?
I just like helping people, right? I like forging relationships. You mentioned, transactional. I was looking up a little bit. It's like everything has become so transactional in our world, right? AI and click on this, do the house or this. But what do people really want? What do people want to experience? How do people want to feel when it's all over, right? We want people to feel a certain way so that they go tell everybody they know that, listen, I didn't feel like a number. It wasn't like getting gas. It wasn't like put your card in, you get your gas. You never leave the gas station going, wow, that was awesome. That was such a great,
Pump number 7 is my pump. I'm never going to another pump ever again.
You'll never cheat on another pump.
Yeah, 6 and 8. Those losers at 6 and 8. They don't know what I got at 7. Yeah, I mean, look, the way I take and when I talk about it, Stephen, is I say, I'm from New York. In New York, you got somebody good. I got a guy.
Yeah.
If my customer's not when I'm done getting done for them what they needed done, if they're not saying that about me, that is what failure in my business looks like.
100%.
We have taught agents overwhelmingly that the paycheck is what differentiates a win from a loss, and that is not so. Not if you're trying to build a business. If you're trying to get paid, yes. If you're trying to get paid long term and build a business that is self-sustaining, where you don't have to take and spend a fortune on advertising like most agents do, you have to have those customers come back. It's the only way to do it.
We see eye to eye on that. We see eye to eye on that big time, man. That's how we run our business, and it's been phenomenal for us, and we're growing.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
Who the hell wants to make a cold call when I can make a call to somebody who already knows and likes me? I mean, my God.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says, "Oh man, that cold lead was so fun." Like, eventually they might become a good person, But like, what's better? Johnny, my cousin over here, says, "Yo, you got to call Steven. He just got me an incredible deal. Not only did he give me a deal, like it was such a great experience. You're going to feel like he's hugging you the whole time, and you're safe, and it's going to go great for you. So call him up. That initial phone call is great. It's great. You already feel like you're tight and you're friends, and you're going to help them out and help their
Absolutely.
family.
Those warm leads you can't beat those. So
good.
I want to ask you, where do you think all the success came from for you?
I think it goes way back, man. I was very lucky, man. My parents have been married 51 years now or whatever. I grew up in a phenomenal family, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, not wealthy at all. My dad did 47 years at Acme Markets. I look at it now going, man, how do we even have food on the table? Knowing what it costs now, because I have my own 4 girls, and I'm like, damn, Dad, you were doing something right, because we never, we always had everything we needed. We might have got stuff that we wanted a year later, like Atari came out. Might not have got it in 87, but I probably got it in 88, So
yeah.
But we always had what we wanted. But they instilled such an incredible self-esteem in me and my siblings that you could go out and do anything if you worked hard. And it was really the work ethic. So nothing replaces that, right? ChatGPT, AI, all the tricks of the trade, and especially in our industry, you could buy something new to help you every day, right? And I know you talk about it, right? Like, but nothing ever will replace hard work and authenticity when you're dealing with the customer and a client.
That's it, man. Right. That's it. And and obviously just having the expertise and the skill so that they don't have to. Right. I mean, that's really the thing they're bringing us. They don't know how to do the thing. They want somebody who knows how the hell to do the thing. If you're not making the case by the way you present yourself that you know how to do this thing well and look out for them, like when you're saying that they felt like they got a hug, for me, I agree. I want them to feel like they're protected. They've got somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, and I'm never going to let you make a mistake on my watch. I'm going to tell you not to do it. I don't care if it makes me no money. I will tell you to do the thing that makes me no money if it's the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
I think that's how you build the business. But I want to ask you, in this industry where so many people don't make it, what do you think in your makeup? So taking that step back and looking at yourself, what in your makeup do you think makes you good at it?
I think I care. Right.
Okay.
I really think I care. I've never calculated, and people might say BS on this, right? I've never calculated a commission. Right.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that if you just continue to put people ahead of yourselves and put their needs ahead of everything, that everything comes back to you.
Absolutely.
Comes back to you. Like if I'm not taking advantage of anybody and I never want to, but if I'm thinking, man, I need to feed my family. So if I could just get this $800,000 deal done, like it doesn't matter that the septic's bad or that it might have like, no, is it the right thing for this person? Should they not even be selling? Is it a bad idea for them to even be moving? Tell them that. Don't
Yep.
focus on your paycheck. So I do think, I mean, I really do. At the root of it, it's how I was brought up, to care for other people, put other people first. And if you continue to do that and put them in a right position, you're going to get everything you need.
Good stuff is going to come your way. No, I mean, I'm listening to what you're saying, and it rings so true, and it's unfortunately so seldom what people prioritize, and it's I think that the place that I like to come from is if I just do what I know I'm supposed to do today, I know the money comes in at the end. If I do great work today, so all I do is task myself with doing great work today, and I know the results will take care of themselves. And that is one thing that once again is not part of mainstream real estate. I don't understand why it's not, but it's so important in this business that tends to at times be very demoralizing because there's often a disconnect between the effort you put out and what you get in return. You do everything perfectly, and the deal turns to a big smelly pile of poop. And it's
Yep.
not your fault. The other agent, the title company, the lender, the appraiser, somebody else jacked up your deal. Your customer's pissed, or maybe even pissed at you. It's not your fault. It's very demoralizing, right? And
Sure.
that brings me kind of to this next question that I had for you, Stephen, which is how do you manage yourself? Unmet expectations, disappointment. What do you do to keep yourself? Well, manage is the right word. You are your
Yeah,
own boss. So how do you
100%.
keep yourself in the fight?
5 minute rule.
Okay.
Simple. Something good happens, you celebrate for 5 minutes. Something terrible happens, you got 5 minutes to sulk and you got to move on and pick up the pieces. You let that
Next.
linger, you're in trouble, right? Never too high, never too low. Nothing about, listen, we're celebrating victories. Don't get me wrong. We're
Yeah, yeah.
celebrating wins. But guess what? If you get six pending in our business and you focus on the six pending and you're working in those transactions and this and that, guess what? They all settle on the same day. You wake up, you're like, oh shit, now what?
Now I'm broke. Yeah.
Now I'm
Now we
broke.
got now your problems.
So
Yeah.
we celebrate 5 minute rule, move on, keep run with that momentum. Something terrible happens, a deal blows up, or something happens bad personally. You got 5 minutes to take a deep breath. You get all the energy out that you need to get out, and you got to pick the pieces up and move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Never too high,
That makes
never too
sense.
low.
So I've said that so many times to agents. Just keep the bubble in the middle. I count the commission check when it comes out of the broker's office.
Yep.
That's when just don't think about every deal's going to die. Like
Yep.
don't even sweat it. Just do great work.
Yeah, it's a crazy industry, Josh, when you think about it. I mean, so many other industries, right? They're getting a 9 to 5, you're getting your paycheck, whether you do 100% of the work or not. We're one of the few industries that if you don't get the ball across the line 100% all the way, 100-yard football field, if you don't get across that goal line, you could have 90, you can get to the 99.5-yard line. If you don't cross
Nothing.
the goal line, there's nothing there.
100% and nothing.
Nothing. So
Man.
it's wild.
It is wild. It is brutal. And frankly, those plays that, I don't want to say anything about the New York Yankees and what happened in game one or anything, but with 2 outs in the 10th inning and you can't get one more stinking out. Yeah, those that happen at the end.
Mug. I didn't want to bring it up with the pinstripes. And I got to tell you, I'm a Phillies fan, but I do have tickets to game 5 if they can win a game. I'm going to the Bronx.
Right? If they could win just
win a game.
My God, at least just for your morale, just to not be humiliated.
100%.
No,
I feel your pain on that, though, man. We had an early exit this year, so I feel your pain.
So, what do you think makes you passionate about what you do, Stephen?
That's a great question. I think, we always talk about the why, and they're like, oh, well, your why can't just be your kids. And it's not. I think I have a burning desire. And I think, again, I go back to my parents, how we were raised. I just have a burning desire to step into who I think I'm supposed to be. And whether that was painted by God or my parents or whoever you think it is, I just have a burning desire to step into who I believe I'm supposed to be. And who that is kind of the bridge for people, bridge the gap emotionally, financially, whatever it might be, to be in a position to help when people need help. Okay. So in order to do that, I have to have a certain level of success right? And I hold myself accountable to that. So if someone would call me and say, hey, I need X, and I deem them worthy of my time and my money, I want to be able to give it to them. Well, I can't
Mm-hmm.
do that if I'm not holding myself accountable to go out and be the best person that I can be on a daily basis. So
Right.
I've structured my life to be disciplined, working out. And somebody comes to a rut in me, it's like, man, are you moving? Is your body moving? No, well, I'm depressed. I've been sitting around. Well, get out and go for a walk.
Move.
You know?
Yeah. Do something.
Get moving. Get your body moving. So I think it's just I try to be the best person I can be because unfortunately, I don't know how I'm sitting here almost 50. I still feel like I'm in high school.
Mm.
And some days you look back and you're like, man, that seems like a long time ago. And the other side, it's like, man, life is really, really fast.
Yeah, it is.
Really quick. And if you have kids, anybody listening to this has kids, kids really make things go fast. Like my oldest is 14 years old. And I look at her and I'm like, how did that happen? I was just holding you, you know?
Yeah.
And I go down to my 7-year-old, who's my youngest of 4. And I look at her and I'm like, I think he grew 4 inches last night. Like
You know,
it just goes real fast.
It's nuts. I mean, the one that I do is like when I give people my count of how many years I've been in this business. When I started in the business, I would hear these guys that have been in the business 12, 14 years. I'm like, how the hell do you get there?
Right.
And as it turns out, just do nothing.
Right.
And it's going to come find you. Like I'm 16 years in this business. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It
goes
is a thing.
real fast, man. Time starts to fly by. Every year goes a little bit quicker. And
Yeah, man.
you don't ever want to look back and go, damn, what could I have done?
No, I mean, and
That's
once
a
again,
driving force for me as well.
we're watching a year be almost done now. I mean,
Yeah.
how that so
We're
quick.
meeting today. I'm like, Halloween's Thursday.
I know.
We're building 2025 right now. We're building 2024 is not over, but it's over. We're building 2025 right now.
I mean, if you sneeze, it's going to be Thanksgiving. And you and I both know from the week before Thanksgiving to like the week after New Year's, nothing happens in real estate for the most part. At least can't find agents. You want to see what sagebrush looks like? Go to a real estate office. You'll see it blowing through the middle of the floor. No, I used to go every day, 6 days a week. And I mean, I took off Thanksgiving, I took off Christmas. Otherwise, I was there every single day, man. And that end of the year, man, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, we don't have to beat that. We committed last year, and it really worked out well for us and set us up for 24. We really committed to work from Halloween through the end of the year.
Nice.
I don't only work like the same way we work, but work, right? Going out, people love to talk to you around that time. People are in a better mood. Like
absolutely,
have a happy hour. Who cares if 6 people show up because they got to go shop? Just show up, be around, show them that you're there, fill them in on what's going on. A lot of people, like you said, they disappear. I just made a video earlier about what buyers can expect between now and the end of the year. You might be able to beat your competition out because your competition's agents, as well as your competition, is going to fall asleep at the wheel when the right house pops up. Yep. Right? They're shopping, they're partying, they're with family. They got stuff to do. Stay diligent. Make sure you're working with somebody that does work through these next 8 weeks. And, you could get the house of your dreams without a whole lot of competition. We'll see. Absolutely.
I mean, a thinned herd is definitely a good thing when you're out there trying to take and get something. What is a tool you'd suggest to help our listening? It's a tool you've picked up over the course of your experience
to help an agent.
Yeah, let's say an agent.
I think you need to do what you say you're going to do, and that sounds crazy, right? But
yes and no.
It sounds so elementary, right? But it goes back to stuff that's that simple. Like if you say you're going to call them at 1:00, call them at 1:00.
Yeah,
on the dot. You're going to show up. Don't give them there was traffic. No, anticipate.
Yes.
Be prepared. Be prepared. And I say this too, like I'm with you, man. You got your, I got a guy for that. That's similar. I think it's like the Northeast thing, right? I got a guy. I tell people in my listing appointments, if I had a trench coat on and opened it up, I got a business card for anything you could ever imagine.
What do you need? What do you need? I
got it for you. So you got to build that network out so that people feel great about it. I had a great listing appointment last week and it was all going to happen very quick. And I knew they were a little overwhelmed. I said, listen, you guys focused on the inside right here. You got 3 kids, you got a dog. Don't worry about outside. It'll be perfect. Well, what do you mean? I said, don't worry about it. It'll be perfect. Literally, landscapers there the next morning. All the mulch is done. We do the outside pictures because we knew it was going to be a beautiful day. Boom, boom, boom. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm a hero.
Yeah.
not a hero. I'm just using my experience. I build it up. I build up the people that love and trust me and work for me and will drop everything to go do something for me because I feed them all year long. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
you
it,
know,
man. You
yeah,
people that you take care of, that take
you
care
have
of you.
you have to, man. You have to. So
Absolutely.
it's a good little trick, man. It's just do what you say you're going to do. I know that sounds so elementary, but it is the truth. It's the
Yeah,
truth,
absolutely.
man.
What do you see as the opportunity in the market today?
I think from an agent standpoint, I think there's a tremendous opportunity. I think people, as we know, as you know, being a speaker and everything, and talking to agents every day, most likely, um, there's too many of us, right?
Yeah,
And I think it
way
goes
too many.
back to our thing, like, oh, how do you know? Well, I don't think a ton of people wake up and say, I want to be a real estate agent, right? It's like, and oh, by the way, you get through a career and then it goes sideways. You're like, well, what am I going to do now? Well, I'll plop down $1,500 and I'll go get my real estate license because that seems like it'd be fun and it'd be cool. And they never
Yep,
treat it like a business. So
yep,
I think the opportunity right now is for those treating it like a business with all the changes that have happened in the last 4 months that have been talked about till the cows come in on in the media, right?
yep.
Truth or not, whatever they're talking about it. I think for agents like myself and my team and those that truly treat it like a business, I think the opportunity to go out and grab market share has never been better. It's
Absolutely.
never, ever been better to show value to buyers and sellers. Um, where if you're communicating with them and you're a resource with them and not anticipating anything in return, whether that's your social media page of, hey, look, I read this article. Here's my take on it. Whether you like it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
not, here's my take.
yeah.
And they start to digest that. We have such an opportunity where it used to be, you used to have to pick up the phone to talk to somebody. Well, now we get an audience like this.
Yep.
We get an audience on podcasts. We get an audience on Instagram, on the reels, on the face, whatever it is, right? There's so many opportunities for us to just spit out 60 seconds of value.
Mm-hmm.
And the more value that you can create and give away, in my opinion, that when that person is ready to get involved in a real estate deal, whether it be an investment, whether it be selling their parents' home in a terrible situation where their parents got older and passed, whether
Right.
they're downsizing, upsizing, new baby, divorce, whatever, all the reasons it is to move, they're like, damn, you know what? I've been watching that Talon dude for 3 years now. He seems like my kind of guy. He's been giving me all this information.
Let me
I'm
give
going
him
to
a
give him a
shot.
call. I'm going to give him
Yeah,
a call.
yeah,
And if he is who he is in person, is what I've been watching, he's probably going to get the job.
absolutely. You're setting yourself up,
Absolutely.
um, anticipating that the need is going to come, and when it does, you're
Because it
there.
does. Inevitably, it comes. It always comes.
Absolutely.
Always comes.
People are going to need you. It's a
Yep.
matter of being there when they do.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing you've learned in the process of doing what you've done?
Great question. And I don't want to repeat it. Nothing beats hard work. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the hack. Do the
that
work.
is the hack. The hack is, oh my God, do the work. Not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
X to funnel a bunch of BS into your email or pay X and they're going to handle all this for you. No, it's do the work. Just do the
yep.
damn work.
Simple as that.
Um, yeah, one thing I learned, I don't know. You learn so much, and I say it all the time, especially me, like, listen, we've probably seen everything that we could see in a real estate transaction until we haven't, and inevitably we haven't. There's always something new.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
always something new. But wouldn't you feel comfortable thinking that you're working with an agent who has seen most of it, right?
Yeah,
And in the event that something does go sideways, are they going to be able to figure it out before it becomes a problem and before I
absolutely.
even ever know about it?
Yeah,
And that has really been helpful, trying to stay 4 or 5 steps ahead of the transaction once we're in the transaction to let them know, hey, they don't ever need to know about it.
absolutely. A broker friend of mine says that trains his agents. My job is to make sure you have no surprises.
Amen.
Nothing's going to get you as long as you're with me. Nothing's going to surprise us.
Yep.
All right. So
Absolutely.
this is a little bit more of a lightning roundish kind of thing here. We're
Sure.
just going to get a sense of who you are.
I
What
like
would you say you're most proud of in business you've accomplished?
the respect I've gotten from coworkers, colleagues, other
Love it.
agents. They
Yeah,
know that if they come to me or vice versa, that's going to be a great deal and we're going to get it done.
love it. What was same question, but not most proud of in business, most proud of in life you've accomplished?
I think I'm a hell of a dad.
That's a great
And
answer.
there is nothing that will replace that. Fortunately, because of where I am in the business I've built and continue to build, I don't miss a thing. Right.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
and no matter what it is, I'm a coach. My oldest is a dancer. People might get a kick out of this. I'm in the Nutcracker for the third year coming up.
Nice.
My part has increased, so when I say to my buddies, "Hey, I got to miss the Eagles game this week because I got Nutcracker practice," they're like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Well, guess what? My daughter's only going to be 14 and 15 and 16 for so long, and this is going to pass. But those
Yep.
videos, and you can break my balls about the videos when you see them. But the way my daughter looks at me on stage, it's a great time. So,
That's what
um,
matters.
yeah,
That's what
I'm
really
good.
matters.
I'm a pretty decent husband, but I'm a great dad.
Awesome, man.
I'm super
That
proud of
is the real job.
it. I
I
love
love
it.
to hear that. What one piece of advice would you give our listeners?
Find something that you love. I know that sounds generic, but find something you can be passionate about. Um, I see people all the time, family members, even friends. Um, they hate what they do. And I'm not telling you, I'm not painting a rosy picture. I don't love every minute of every day
Of
here of
course
what we
not.
do, but I do get to do things on my terms. I'm at a point now because of the hard work I've put in. I work with the people I want to work with. I'm not forced to work with anybody I don't want to work with.
Hmm.
And I actually do have a very strong passion for what I do. And it's not real estate, it's helping people,
Yeah.
right? And real estate's the byproduct of what I do, really. And I truly believe that. Like, yeah, I get paid when we settle real estate, but I'm helping solve problems for people. I'm putting them first, and I'm able to help get them through a time where they have a lot of questions and a lot of uncertainty. I bring certainty into their life, and that remains calm, makes them calm and peaceful, and makes
Sure.
their life a
Through
little better.
something is one of the more stressful things that people have to go through.
Totally.
It's a huge value to them.
Yeah.
Um, what one book would you recommend?
The one I'm writing right now. No, check
Good
that out in
call.
the spring. Check that out in the spring. I really loved Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. Napoleon
I
Hill.
love Think and Grow Rich, and I think that's a tougher book for some people, but it really sets the table. It sets the table
Okay.
uh, and sets you up for success.
Favorite movie of all time?
Whew. That is such a hard one because there's I'm a sports guy. I played collegiate baseball, the whole deal. So I got some stuff there. I'm a huge Hoosiers fan. That was a great movie. I just love all the interactions there of the coach and my team's on the floor and
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
really any sport related. Also love a Top Gun. I could go on and on.
Good
It
movies.
would be really hard to narrow it down.
All right. This one you're going to have to narrow down. Famous person in history you'd want to meet if you could.
Whew. I would say let's go way back. Um, let's go Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
it's a dude who was under tremendous stress.
Very much so.
Wanted to make the right decision regardless of what direction he was being pulled in during his presidency, and changed the fabric of our country
And of the world.
and the world. Yeah, and of the world for sure.
So, similar question, but a bit more personal. What person from your past would you want to sit down with and have lunch with today if you could?
My mom's dad, my grandpa,
Okay.
on the maternal side. We had an incredible relationship. He died when I was in 8th grade. We were just buddies from the second, as far as I can remember.
Nice.
Just buddies, hanging out in his garage, tinkering with stuff. Wood burning stove going in the winter. He had what I thought at the time was like this massive yard. I go by there now, 40 years after he's gone, and I'm like, man, it's like a quarter acre. But at the time you're 5, 6 years old. You think he's living on this massive thing. He used to let me drive the tractor. He was a World War II vet. I mean, there's just so many questions that I'd love to sit down and go deeper on. He was born in 1912. Just go a little deeper on some stuff that I never got the chance to kind of go deep on. And just a great man. He was cool.
That's awesome, man. I mean, those people, it's always so sad when they go.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Yep. I remember the day. And Fast forward, I'm super lucky. My kids have all four of their grandparents right now. They're really getting to know them. They're all close in proximity to us, so they're getting to spend a ton of time with them. And it's fun to see my parents be with my kids. It's like, oh, I guess they were like that with us. Probably a little nicer now, but
Yeah.
well, no,
Well,
it's a great experience.
they got to give him back. That's
Yeah,
the reason why.
exactly. Like we're out of here.
Hey, they're screaming. Hey, this is
Yeah,
your
it's
kid.
fine. I gotta go. But
Yeah,
it's been fun to see all that.
I'm
So
sure.
very, very lucky to experience that with them.
So, what one piece of advice would you go back and give a younger version of you?
Don't chase don't chase money, and don't think it's going to happen overnight. So there was a point in my life where I was working jobs, but I was also doing, chasing what I thought would be overnight success. Not to say that you can't have quick success, don't get me wrong, but I would go back and say, hey man, drill down, get really good at what you want to do, and don't let any of the outside noise get you off your track.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
just
Focus.
stay focused. Stay
Yeah.
focused. As well as we're doing and as great as it's been. And hey, listen, I really wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be the person I am if I went back and made some changes.
Yep.
But if we could, a little tweak here or there would have been all right.
It wouldn't have been so bad if I could have avoided a few of the potholes.
Few of those decisions would have been could have been avoided. For sure.
Wouldn't have been the end of the world.
No, not at all, Josh.
All right. So if you had to be stuck in a foxhole taking fire with somebody, who would you want in there with you? Who would you trust to have you back?
My
Was
brother.
that?
Kevin. My brother.
Nice.
I have two brothers, so I don't want to leave them out. I would take them both. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. And they would both lay down and vice versa. But my brother Kevin and I were 16 months apart.
Okay.
So we've been through some shit together.
Good stuff.
Some heavy stuff, some light stuff, some incredible life moments.
You've seen him over a distance of ground, and you know he's going to be there. All right, I get
exactly what I'm getting, And I could tell a story real quick that's clean if you want to hear a quick one.
Go ahead, sure.
So, having four girls, it's Christmas Eve 2 years ago. My in-laws live a half a mile down the road, and we get one of the Barbie campers to drive. The play school Barbie campers.
Yeah.
The week before Christmas, I'm at my in-laws. I'm putting this thing together. I got a big Escalade, like the biggest SUV you can get. I'm like, So we host Christmas Eve. Fast forward, it's now 1:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to pick everything up for my in-laws. Like, all right, get the Barbie camper. It's definitely not fitting. Definitely not fitting in the battle. So I have a couple choices. I go home and I wake up my oldest daughter and say, you got to drive the Barbie camper down Providence Road to get to our house with me with the flashers on at 2 a.m. on Christmas morning. Or you got to figure out, you got to take it apart, which I really didn't want to do.
Yeah.
We got to call Kevin, who has an arsenal of pickup trucks. Okay. So boom, 2:00 in the morning, I call Kevin. Doesn't answer on the first ring, calls me back. What do you got? I give him the story. He's like, be there in 20. Shows up, he's got his Wawa coffee, loaded up in the truck, boom, carried in the house, bada bing, bada boom. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't know how many people you can call at 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve and say, can you run over here and help me not look like a bad dad in the morning? And he did it. So that's one of the smallest things and one of the few stories we could tell in public.
That's awesome, man. And that is exactly the kind of person you want in a foxhole with you.
You got that right.
What do you do to unwind, Stephen? Besides your thespian activities in the Nutcracker, I mean.
Yes, of course. It's a great question actually, because I actually quit drinking 10 years ago, which used to be my unwinding, right? Now it's literally as simple as going home.
Yeah.
Right. Something about getting a hug from one of your kids, even though they drive you crazy, right? My 7-year-old still hugs me like I'm the king of the world. Not that they don't, all four of them don't, but like she still can get you there. And my wife's the same way, but just getting home, there's something about walking into your house where some calm kind of sets over me. In addition to that, I'm a big gym guy. I hit the gym every single morning. Without that, I'm a different person. It gets the endorphins going, gets me rolling, makes me feel good about myself, clears my head mentally. So really, if we're talking about just unwinding from a physical standpoint, it's the gym. the gym really solves a lot of problems for me, big time.
I hear that, man. I'm a gym rat myself. So you've mentioned a little bit, and I definitely want to give you a chance to get a little bit more out there about your book. That's the next project that's underway. What's the title? What's it about?
Yeah, title's going to be Build Up. And it's really a book about not just building a business, but building yourself up, right? It's really hard to go build a business if you don't have the self-esteem and the confidence and the knowledge and the experience to go out and build a business by yourself. So it's about surrounding yourself with the right people. It's a lot about my journey of where I was, where I started, and where I am. And as I continue to build up these businesses, build up my relationships, build up my group, my mastermind. Because people hear build up, they're like, oh, you're building a house, yeah, well, we're doing all that, but we're also building up ourselves and what we want
Absolutely.
our life to really look like. I think a lot of people have a vision of what they want their life to be,
Hmm.
but it's just because that's what they were told or that's what they see. But
Right.
I really want to help people take the time to sit down and go, what do you really want? Like,
Right.
what makes your life look like a success, right? Sure, money helps. Money helps, but right, but
Mhm.
isn't it peace of mind? Yeah, it's great when the bills are taken care of, but if all the bills are taken care of, where would you spend your time? What would you do? Where would
Yep.
it be? So part of the book is going to be a little bit about some backstory about where he came from. I think I can provide some great insight and some fun stories, and also about people that want to take the level up, whether it's to go buy one investment property and grab $300 a month, which is life changing to a lot of people, or they
Mhm.
want to go out and build this massive,
Portfolio.
commercial, real estate business, whatever it might be,
Yeah. No,
but it's a fun time.
absolutely. There's a size one size. It's not a one size fits all. There's
No,
something for
definitely
everybody. So, Stephen,
absolutely.
obviously, some great stuff, some great insights. Where can folks find you if they want to see more about what you do?
Yeah. So, Talon RE, TALLONRE on the Instagram. Us old guys say the Instagram, the Facebook, On Instagram, Talon RE is a great spot for us. Any of our websites, Town Real Estate's still up there. The Town Olenic team is up there. And check out the Bookhouse Hotel, man. It is really cool. If you have an avid reader in your life, or if you just like cool destinations, the Bookhouse Hotel is awesome. And we're going to wrap up location number 2 in the next 3 weeks. We'll be open for our first big event. And then the day we open, we'll probably go buy something else, man, because it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, I guess that's about it, Stephen. I want to say thank you for your time and coming on here and helping us learn a little bit more about what you do and sharing your insights with us. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Josh, I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Maybe I'll catch you in AC in a couple weeks down at Triple Play.
That'd be awesome, and it'd be great to see you up there. And I want to thank all of our listeners for hanging out with us, spending their time. As I always do, folks, I want to remind you, there's never a good excuse not to know your shit. Till next time.